Hey guys, back to questions and answers. Heard it through the grapevine. We've got some great questions today. This is all about streets and roads and that type of stuff, so I think it'll be very informative. We'll start with the first one. When will my dirt road be paved? There's a system that we do, and every year the roads are driven, they're checked out to see what kind of shape they're in. But as far as paving goes, we have two big issues. One is how much money comes in through the streets department, and then two is how much traffic is on that road. And so the least amount of traffic roads are farthest down the list, and the roads that are higher traffic, such as like Gordon Hollow Road, then they're higher on the list, and those get paved first. And so if you're wondering, hey, my gravel road hasn't been paved yet, we actually have almost 30 miles of gravel roads, and it will just, over time, yes, they'll all get paved, but we try to do a little bit every couple of years, and just gets us a little farther down the road. The next question is, how do I get the pothole in front of my house fixed? The quickest way to get it fixed is go directly to the department head, and you can email them, send them a picture, and let them know there's something out there, because sometimes a big rain happens, a pothole pops up, and our guys just don't see it yet. Or you can come through the city and call us directly at the city, or email us too, and we will get it over to the department heads. But if you see a pothole, please let us know. Our guys are real good at getting those done. If they don't know about it, then of course they can't get it done. Question number 3, why don't you stop spending so much money on sidewalks? Oh, this is great. And parks, and spend it on streets. The reason we've done so much in sidewalks is, one, we had a lot of terrible sidewalks. The voters passed for bond measure. Part of that went to streets, and we did get a lot of roads paved, a lot of roads overlaid. Part of that also went to sidewalks. But what we were able to do at the same time as the bond that was passed by the voters, we were also able to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants, and we've gotten several of those, plus donations towards our sidewalks and walking trails. That money cannot be used for streets. When you get a grant, the grant can only be funded for what the grant is given for, and it's just right now it's easier to get money for sidewalks and walking trails than it is to get money for sewer or streets, although we do constantly try, and we apply for everything we can possibly find. But it's just been, the last several years, just been easier to get money. And of course, if the voters pass, say the voters pass $400,000, and we can get another $500,000 or $1 million, we're definitely not going to turn that down, because we're also trying to do what is best for the city overall. And when money comes, we're going to take it and use it to as far as it can go. And so that's why we cannot use any type of grant money except for what it is actually specified to be used for. So that's a great question, and one we get a lot too. When will we get a stoplight at the four-way? So stoplight at the four-way has been talked about for several years. We have gone back and forth with the state on this, and the cost just kept going up. Well, they were in town last Friday to talk about the connector that they're looking at going south, and we discussed the stoplight again, and they said they had a discussion the day before, which was Thursday, about our stoplight here, and had decided that maybe they don't need to put a Cadillac stoplight, which is what they had originally kind of set up for us, and maybe we need to look at another option or a couple of ideas to maybe get a more reasonably priced stoplight, one that wouldn't cost us several $1 million to get something there. So we're fairly optimistic that something's going to come pretty soon in the next few months, that they're going to give us some ideas that will help, and some cost sharing with the state in order to get something done sooner than later, because we do know truck traffic is already increasing from Siloam to the bypass and vice versa. And we know that as GPS starts rerouting people correctly, that will only get worse. So it is on our list to get done as soon as possible, but it is a state highway, not a city road, and so we do have to work with the state on that. But we're optimistic that something's going to get done, and that we're able to look at it a little differently than they've looked at it in the past. And then number 5, cars keep speeding down my street. This is a good one too. So anytime you see some car speeding down your street, don't hesitate to call the police department. They have their own number there that you can call during the day, so you don't have to call 911 if you don't want to. You can just call directly. Police department, tell them what's going on, what street it is, and then they'll send somebody out. And a lot of times what happens is when someone goes out there, of course everybody slows down. Police officers can sit there 3, 4, 5 days a week and no one speeds when they're there, and then once they're gone, people start speeding again. So but it does help having a presence there, and our guys are happy. They do drive around a lot. They're happy to go set in some areas to make sure that it's clear. But I did hear a funny story from a guy about 6 months ago, and he said a lady called and his son was working, and his son went out to the neighborhood and stopped a person who was speeding, and pulled the person over and said, "Ma'am, you're speeding in the neighborhood." And the ma'am says, "Well, actually, I'm the one who called." And so the first lady stopped was the one complaining about everybody speeding. So make sure that we're setting the example too, and we're the ones not speeding, and hopefully everybody else, we can set that example together, and all of us keep our streets safe. Thank you guys. Have a good day.